I had to sketch it out before I could write it. So here's my quote Da Vinci-esque.
You have a sketch?
Okay,
let's see how
what we're talking about.
Okay. Hello, welcome to the Enchanted Kingdom of Hermione. Just in case you didn't figure that out. What you also might have figured out very quickly is that we're not in the turret of pleasure. No, because I'm excited out of my mind because I have company for the first time in a year, and that company is my dear friend Sol Mogerman,
Wow.
who has come out here risking the COVID and the militia who've surrounded the Enchanted Kingdom. They won't let anybody in or out.
I've always been
He
friends.
braved the militia to bring me his new book. Now, you're going to go, oh, is it that Sol Mogerman? You know, this is the one that did these. And these are 3 CDs we've done over the past few years. Chain of Life and Was It Fun? I think they all have the same back cover. They do have the same back cover. These are, you know, if you want them, you can get them. And these are this product. Sol and I have worked together for the past few years, recording his music that he's written sort of in the last 40 years. Back in the day in Northern California, Sol played sort of free jazz, crazy rock with the likes of people like Elliot Zygmunt, and in the interim has had a very full and wild life, including having his son Aaron, which is where I met Sol. Aaron and I played in the fabulous David P. Smith band. And so after all these years, Sol was saying how he wished he could get these songs down, and I said, well, we'll do them in my living room. So we've been doing that for a few years.
That's fairly close. I came up to you looking for somebody crazy enough to play music with me because
usually the word crazy, usually my name comes up.
Well,
so yeah.
outside the box enough.
Yeah. So anyway, we've had a great fruitful few years now. What is it, 4 years? 5 years?
About that.
Unfortunately, as you might have guessed, we've had to take a year off. This is the first time Sol's been out now in about 14 months.
That's right.
So yeah, and he's come to do a mission of mercy, returning books from my friend George, and bringing out his new book. And okay, yeah, now we've showed you the schematic. This book is it's that rubbery satin. Is that what it's called?
I chose this over the gloss.
Well, I worry about the satin because it's going to absorb terrible things. Look at how pink that is. So now this is a novel?
This is a novel of sorts.
Fiction?
Yes. Fiction.
Yeah.
Kind of a hippie rant.
A hippie rant.
It's a hippie romp, I should say, not rant.
Uh-oh. It's starting to sound like Beefheart.
Well, we are related in some ways.
Yeah. Well, Northern California will do that to you.
Well, it's about as close as you can get to where it's set is Northern California, but it's pretty much all over the place. And do you want me to read the description? It's like four lines.
All right, read the description. I guess that's what you made it up for.
In this whimsical tale, a modern-day Adam pits himself against the rigors of entropy, explores self-healing mysteries of the human psyche, and attempts the impossible with a crew of talking woodland animals, only to succeed in the end and smoke a cigar with God.
Okay. Now, if you want a copy of this, we can get you. You publish it yourself?
Self-published at the moment,
yeah,
yes.
Like so many interesting books, including books I've bought recently that I will be doing a subsequent review on, all of which regard Redbone, but we'll get to that later.
So hopefully you can have a chance to read this and review it on your
own.
Well,
I hate to review my friend's stuff because it
is illustrated. Here's the title page with some of the woodland animals. These guys all talk. A couple of dogs, a mouse, a snake,
a talking porcupine,
and a squirrel,
a frog,
and a skunk.
That's a skunk. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
There's bigger pictures of
my brain wasn't processing that. Yeah, if you're wondering what the records are like, well, of course, describing this music is almost impossible. I will simply direct you to YouTube, Sol Mogerman live at Logan's, where Sol played a set supporting Dr. Eugene Chadbourne, a man he'd never heard of before. And of course, everybody went, "Man, you sound like Chadbourne." And he's like, "Who?" Which is, of course, what always happens in music. Anyway, it's a great example. He does mostly originals, many of which are songs set to poems by his wife, Kendall.
Yes, she's a fabulous.
I was going to say she was the lyricist, and I went, no, these are poems that are set to music. It's a difference. So there's that. There's a few interesting cover songs, often turned into story songs. You do Young Man Blues. You do a great Young Man Blues. Anyways, these are all. Are these? Did you put these on YouTube?
No, these are not on YouTube. I don't know how to do that, but they've been on radios a lot.
Yeah, they've been on a variety of.
The problem with the story
creative radio people in the States have played these.
Because I have what some folks across the pond would call a potty mouth.
Potty mouth?
I swear a lot.
You know what I call this? We're actually in the Enchanted Kingdom. We're on what I call the poop deck.
That's
and
appropriate.
It's not because we're on a ship. So there
you
you
gotta watch how you say that word.
But the poop deck it is, yeah. Anyway, I didn't want. You'll have to read the book to really figure out what it's about. That's a pretty good capsule review.
Well, it's some of the experience, everything I find when I've written a few books that I write best, and I don't know if this is true of all authors, if I know what I'm talking about, which means I have to have had some kind of experience.
It helps. It sure does.
Other than myself. So this is the inspiration for this book was to write about sort of my I hate to do air quotes, but I would do this work experience trying to survive in this world where things are where we come to a world where things are kind of constructed to fall apart over time.
Yeah.
Called entropy, and how I have had any number of experiences working in the world as a laborer, as a skilled person, as whatever, trying to just put the food on the table for my family. And
yeah, that's sort of why you didn't pursue your career as a professional musician, because you had to do other stuff to make a living, like so many people.
Well, I missed a few boats there. Oh, maybe I just wasn't shiny enough.
Anyway, go to YouTube, punch in Sol Mogerman, and you'll find an exquisite show with him that pretty much is a great overview of what he does musically. And I'm not sure how you'll be able to get this other than actually acquiring a copy of it from the great man himself. But there you go. It may be available here and there in local Victoria bookstores. Worth looking at. Anyway, nice to see you. It's so great to have some company out. So that's the thing. We'll get back to the normal thing. I got a whole slew of thrift store things that you won't believe the stuff I find in the thrift stores. It makes you think. So we'll do that later. Actually, but I just wanted to do this one as a special treat.
Have you ever found a CD in Thrifties? Speaking of.
No.
We have the wrong name on it.
Thrifties never sold CDs to my knowledge.
Thrift store, Thrifties.
I know, but no. That would be too easy.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to sign this one off. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the note button. Buy Sol's stuff because he's a good guy. And we'll get back at you from the turret later. Take care.